So this time I decided to slow things down a bit after exploring Munnar. I traveled to a hill station called Waghaman, and this is not your typical fast-paced hill station. Most tourist spots are around 10 to 15 kilometers away, and unless you rent a taxi, jeep or have your own vehicle, it's more of a relaxing destination than a sightseeing marathon. Hi, I am Pragya and welcome to my channel Khao Local Ghumo Global, where we explore new ways of living through travel, food and local stories. And in this video, I'll be sharing everything you need to know about Waghaman, what it actually is, how to reach, things to do, where to eat, where to stay, the weather and the ideal days to stay, plus my estimated budget and a few travel tips. So if you are planning a calm, offbeat and Kerala experience, Waghaman might just be your next perfect stop. And now, rock and roll! What is Waghaman actually? So before visiting, I imagined Waghaman to be one of those quiet hill stations with zero crowd. But to my surprise, there's actually a small busy town at the center, surrounded by peaceful outskirts where you will find all those breathtaking misty hills and tea estates you see on Instagram. Waghaman sits in the Idukki district of Kerala, around 1100 meters above the sea level, and it is slowly becoming calmer, more grounded alternative to Munnar. It's ideal for slow travelers, people who want to pause, breathe, and just enjoy the view, or even for weekend getaway, and it is also considered to be one of the best pit stop if you are backpacking Kerala like me. In short, this town is not about ticking off more places, it's more about slowing down. How to reach Waghaman? Reaching here was honestly a mini adventure in itself. It took me 3 local buses to get here. I went from Munnar to Adimali, and then Adimali to Kattapana, and then finally from Kattapana to Waghaman. A bit tiring, yes, and the views sometimes were very pretty. Here is a small but super useful tip. Always tell your bus conductor your stay location instead of just saying the Waghaman town. They will usually drop you as close as possible. In my case, it was Kurushimala Ashram Junction, where my hostel was. Other than buses, the only convenient way is to rent a taxi or drive your own vehicle. Things to do in Waghaman. Just like most hill towns in South India, Waghaman also has its share of touristy spots like viewpoints, hills, waterfalls, jeep safari and pine forest, mostly 10 to 15 kilometers away from the main town. But since my plan was to slow down, I skipped the checklist approach and focused on experiencing the place calmly. Number 1, waterfall near Zostel Waghaman. There is a hidden waterfall and stream right near my stay. Such a pretty peaceful spot surrounded by greenery. The short 30-minute hike down is easy, so the trails can get muddy and bushy, so wear comfy shoes. It's not exclusive to Zostel guests, anyone can visit, but it is still quite under the radar. Now, quick personal story. Just when I started setting up my tripod, I noticed a drone hovering above me. It came closer and closer until I took out my phone to capture that, and then suddenly it disappeared. Creepy, right? I left in 20 minutes feeling a bit unsafe, so I would say visit this place but be mindful of your surroundings even in quiet places. Number 2, Waghaman Town Walk. Take a walk or hop on a short bus ride to explore the small towns. It's lively, real and gives you a glimpse of a daily local life, a refreshing change from the usual tourist zones. Number 3, Kurushimala Ashram Viewpoint. Not exactly for meditation unless you want to, but for the 360-degree view of the town. It's great for sunrise or sunset, and you can hike up or drive. I had to skip it because of the rains, but I assume it is good if you are looking for a nearby peaceful point. That's pretty much it. Simple and calm, just how Waghaman experience should be. Moving on to the next topic. When it comes to food, Waghaman is simple. No fancy cafe, just pure, no drama South Indian restaurant in the main town. Most travelers at my hostel prefer eating at the property itself, since everything else was a short ride away. But of course, I had to explore a bit, so I hopped the local bus to Waghaman town. My first stop was a small place called Hotel Friends. I ordered idiyappam with sambar, something I had first tried in Mirisa, Sri Lanka. Honestly, no major comparison. It was okay there and okay here too, but definitely worth trying if you are enjoying simple local flavors. Then I walked into Calicut restaurant, rated 4.3 stars, over 1000 reviews on Google. Waghaman ke hisab se dekhe to one of the best hai. I ordered veg kurma and parota, and let's just say I ended my food story there because that date doesn't need a reputation. I didn't like it. So yeah, no cafe vibes here, just warm food, friendly locals and a good end to a slow travel day. Next stop, where to stay. Waghaman is not a backpacker hub like Varkala or Munnar. There's just one hostel here called Zostel Waghaman, and honestly you are mostly paying for the location. The view is beautiful but everything else is just average. If you are visiting Waghaman, I would actually suggest skipping the hostel vibe and going for a cozy cottage or a tree house or a hotel with a pool, because that's the whole point of Waghaman. It's all about sweet doing nothing with a view that makes you feel slow down. Moving on to the next, how to get around in Vagamon. I mostly walked and took the local bus just to reach the town. That's honestly the cheapest and easiest option here. Now about renting a two-wheeler, I'm not sure there's a proper legal setup for that in Vagamon yet. So don't rely on that. Your options are local buses, tuk-tuk or auto, taxi or rented jeep, or having your own vehicle. And trust me, do not try using public transport to explore points. The buses are super limited and you will spend up more time waiting than actually exploring. Next topic, what is the best time and duration for Vagamon? This is one of those hill stations which you can visit any time of the year. It stays pleasant and green throughout. Summers March to May is mild here with misty morning and breezy evening. Monsoon June to September, which brings out the greenery, waterfalls comes alive and everything feels dreamy. But it also means slippery trails, sudden landslides and limited mobility. So only come if you are ready for the rains. Winter October to February is about clear skies, cool weather and cozy vibes all around. As for duration, 1 to 2 days are ideal for slow down, explore a couple of viewpoints, a waterfall or just chill at your property. Next up, some travel tips and common mistakes to avoid in Vagamon. Number 1, some spots like Meadows, Glass Bridge or viewpoints are good for sunset or early morning. Number 2, be careful while booking a tour taxi or jeep for tourist spots. बहुत scams होते हैं और rates भी काफी ज़्यादा होते हैं. Ask your hotel or hostel for suggestions. Number 3, do not rush or do not overplan Vagamon. As I said, this town is not about ticking places, it's about slow down and relax. And the final topic is estimated budget for Vagamon per day per person. The stay will cost around 800 to 1000 per night in the hostel. The food will cost 400 to 600 per day. Local South Indian restaurants in the town are the best value for money. About the transport, very limited options as I said earlier, so the cost depends on your choice. Local bus rides around 20 to 40 rupees one way, while a half-day taxi or rented jeep will cost 1500 to 2500 per person. If you plan to explore the outer points, activities and experiences, if you add things like off-road jeeps, it will cost around 500 to 1000 rupees per person. For a 2-day Vagamon trip, you can budget around 2500 to 3000 per person, including food, stay and local travel, if you are keeping it chill and simple. And that is the wrap of my Vagamon guide. If you find this video at any point useful, please like and save it for your Kerala trip. And subscribe for more travel stories, local finds and real experiences. If you have any questions or suggestions, do write to me in the comment section, or also you can reach out to me on my Instagram and thread handle. It's called Khao Local Ghumo Global. My next stop in my Kerala series is Alappuzha. This is me, Pragya Sharma, exploring new ways of living, signing off. You see me in my next release. Until then, travel safely, stay curious and explore the world with care. Bye. Namaste.